Good evening. Welcome to Two Loco.
This is Chrissy D.
And this is Ray Ray. And tonight we have a very special guest. We have a guy, his name is Brad Austin. He kind of reminds me of like a Dave Matthews.
Yes, he does.
He is a phenomenal frontman, a phenomenal singer. He's also, a Christian. But don't let that discourage you. He's a very talented artist.
I think just because he's a Christian man, like he said, don't get discouraged because, he is very talented. And like I said, give his music a chance. You should at least listen to it.
All right. Before we put him on, we're going to play one of his songs, Behind These Walls. I know a lot of people have heard this song, but everybody keeps requesting it, so we're going to keep on playing it.
Good, because it's a good song. I like that song.
All right, so here we go.
I guess it all faded to gray. The better part of me that you let get away. And I guess I'd tell you, what would I say? I guess forever is more than I can comprehend today. 'Cause I can feel your body when you start to ride. Smell the air, come on, can we share the sky? 'Cause you and I, we've got to find something real. From behind these walls, do you think you can love me? Please. I've been collecting feathers that you went away. Tiny little rainbows, memories haunt me today. And I guess I'd tell you, what would I say? I guess forever, it meant nothing anyway. Right. 'Cause I can feel your body when you start to ride. Smell the air, come on, can we share the sky? 'Cause you and I, we've got to find something real. From behind these walls, do you think you can love me? The sky. 'Cause you and I, we've sacrificed something real. From behind these walls, do you think you can? Do you think you can? Just say you will. 'Cause I can feel your body every time you ride. Smell the air, come on, let's just share the sky. And how we burn down something so real. From behind these walls, do you think you can love me? Can you love me? Can you love me? Can you love me? Please.
That was Brad Austin, who will be our guest this evening.
Yes, he will, and we're looking forward to speaking with him.
Exactly. We're very excited. And, you know, it's not every day that you get to meet or, you know, at least talk to such a talented artist.
Exactly. And we can find out a little bit more about him.
Exactly.
Which I'm looking forward to, you know, finding out a little more about him and stuff.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to be calling him right now. Hopefully he picks up.
Of course he will. We made this poor guy wait.
All right. We didn't make him wait.
Well, we did because we had technical problems.
Well, yeah. Well, we had technical issues. There's a difference of, you know, blowing somebody off and having technical.
I don't mean like that. I just meant because of all the technical problems we had.
All right. Anyway, this ain't about us. This is about Brad Austin.
I'm just saying that's how I'm excited to have him on now. You know.
All right. Let's give him a call.
I hate doing that to people.
Oh.
Hello, Brad.
This is Brad Austin?
Well, we're finally doing this. Right on.
Yeah. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry about the technical problems we were having.
Oh, that's all right. So what's going on tonight?
Well, it's all about you.
That's right.
It's all about you. And, you know, we have a bunch of questions for you.
All right.
Tell us about, you know, before we get into your music now, because we just listened to From Beyond These Walls.
Oh, sweet.
Tell us about Shades of when you were in Shades of Gravity and what it was like.
Shades of Gravity was a band in Johnson City, Tennessee, in the mid 2000s, and we ventured out from there. But we all formed right there at ETSU, and we were kind of a jam band, just a bunch of guys that like to get together and catch a buzz and play really long shows at these college bars. And we kind of developed a following, mainly as much for our crazy stage show as for the quality of our music. And so we kind of became part of people's college experiences there at ETSU, and then kind of ventured out into the Southeast and did the circuit and stuff. Just kind of funk, a lot of fun, you know, get drunk and dance kind of music.
There you go. That's what life's about, getting drunk and dancing, right?
That's right, and having fun.
Yeah.
When do you think you would you say you found God?
Oh, when did that happen? It happened 3 years ago. I got into a lot of like heavy drugs and things like that, and really kind of music went on the back burner, and all I cared about was I was just on a mission to destroy myself. And I'm not one of those people that beats people to death with the Bible or any of that. I just had an experience, and it was in a jail cell. I was, you know, at a very low point, and I actually wrote that song From Behind These Walls in the same cell. And I had an experience, and you know, I just decided that I was tired of not knowing who I was or how to deal with my feelings or anything, and so I kind of wrote my way out of it, and it just gave me a real solid foundation. I think most songwriters by nature are looking for something, and so I just happened to find it that day. That's what worked for me.
Well, I'm glad. That's good, you know?
So,
yeah.
So why don't you tell the listening audience about your background and who is Brad Austin?
Right. I am... Man, I was the kid that pilfered my parents' records, and just, I was all about songwriters, you know, whether it be Bob Dylan or the Grateful Dead or then getting into, like, heavier stuff. I loved Hendrix a lot, and I music just spoke to my soul in a way that other things didn't. You know, I mean, I liked sports, and I liked reading books, and I liked doing all the normal kid stuff. And for some reason, music was just it. That's all I wanted to do. And so I tried to find any way I could to make that my job. You know? And like every other musician, I had a bunch of other silly jobs along the way, working in restaurants or doing whatever, but it always came down to my true love, and that was music. And I'm actually, I'm sitting here tonight listening to the final mixes of my debut solo CD, and it's called From Behind These Walls, and we actually remade that song. Like the ones you're listening to, that you listen to, is actually a demo of that song from a couple years ago. But now I had a full band in the studio here in Knoxville, and the CD comes out on April 15th. So I've been working on my first album. I've been in the studio the last few weeks, and now it's time to get out there and take on the world. I got a bunch of gigs lined up all over the place, and so I'm fixing to hit the road and go support this thing, and hopefully some people will buy it.
Okay, so where are your upcoming shows, and when are they?
Well, I've got one this Saturday night. It's actually being held at a church in Knoxville, but it's not a church show. We're using their huge auditorium at Centerpoint Church down on Broadway. And I'm playing with a guy named Nate Curran, who's an incredible songwriter from San Francisco that's coming through town, and we're doing like a joint bill kind of thing. And I'm actually going to sell advanced copies of my CD at that show to people that will be able to get it before the release date. And then I'm playing the Dogwood Arts Festival here in Knoxville on the Market Square stage on April 25th.
Nice.
It's the next one. That's a big one. And then I've got, Johnson City. I've got Greenville, South Carolina, Memphis, somewhere in Virginia. I've got a bunch of different ones coming up in April and May. If you go on Facebook, it's Brad Austin Music or bradaustinmusic.com, and there's always like a tour schedule.
Oh, cool.
Well, there you go. Maybe we'll see one of them shows since you're a local artist.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Are you guys based here in Knoxville?
Right outside.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. All right. That's awesome.
Yeah, we'd love for you to come down sometime, play some songs if you want, if you ever get a chance.
Oh, in the air. I'd love to. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we were listening to the song Behind These Walls, and I really just love the song. I like the beat. It's a nice song, you know?
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, it's an emotional one for me.
I actually fell in love with this song that you didn't send that I found from you. Avi's song.
That is my favorite song I ever wrote, and that is there's such a cool story behind it. Avi was a girl in Houston that when I got out of my incarceration, I wrote From Behind These Walls when I got a Dear John letter in a jail cell, which is just like the worst feeling in the world. And so this is this brokenness. Well, I get out and I come back into the world, and I'm thinking, man, you know, where am I going to fit in? I've got this strike against me, and you know, I don't really know what I'm going to do. And I go to this cookout with some friends in Texas out on the beach, and I meet this girl with these beautiful blue eyes, and we sit and talk the whole night by this bonfire and watch the sun come up, and her name was Avi. And so the song's not really so much about Avi as it is about me and about having hope again. But I captured her in that moment, and it talks about Avi called again this morning. She says she's got some hope again, but it's still my favorite song, and I usually close shows with it. It's become really popular. On the new record, we actually did it real big with piano and violin and stuff, and it sounds really, really good.
Nice.
That is sweet. That is really nice.
You know, though, when I was listening to it, I really wasn't thinking, I understand the title, but I was really thinking it was more of a life journey. But you know how music is. One person can think one thing where another will think an entirely different.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. And it was, yeah. And that's a good synopsis of it, I think. Maybe I'll slip that in my bio now.
There you go.
But, I mean, I've listened to, you know, thousands of bands, and, you know, there's very few songs that, like, really, really touch my heart, and I listen to that, and I must have listened to it 20 times in a row.
Awesome. Wow. That's cool. I can't wait for you to hear Tomorrow I should have the MP3s of the new stuff, and I'll go ahead and send y'all some. You can play it before everybody else, and I'll send you that one, and I'll send you the new From Behind These Walls, and I think you'll hear where these songs have grown up a little bit in the studio and been beefed up with some bigger instrumentation. Like Avy's song has a piano and cello and violin and electric guitar on it now, and
Nice.
it's still the same, but it's just a bigger version of it. And From Behind These Walls, we added some like some fiddle, and we added some really just, I mean, it's like sexy electric guitar on that song. It just gives it a real bluesy kind of kick that it needed. And I'm really excited about these songs growing up because they're like my kids, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've been writing these demos for a couple of years, and they have their own little bass, but most artists re-record stuff as they grow in their career. So I finally got to go and make the record I've spent my whole life writing.
Exactly. Well, when I listen to Behind These Walls, I thought of different people that I know that have been in jail and stuff, and I thought of them saying this to their, singing that to their loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Asking them if they could love them from behind the walls. And that's what I was thinking of. That's what the song made me think of.
There's so many people in there that have nobody. It's like I watched all these guys. Being a songwriter, I call it the curse of the songwriter. And any songwriter, I don't know if you guys write music, but songwriters have this, we study people. It's what we do. Like we're kind of the people that record. We're like the court reporters of the world. We go out and record everything that's said and done, and so I'm always watching people, and prison is a really interesting place to people watch. And you see so many people that are just living and dying on mail call or on visitation or on getting a phone call or not getting one, and really working out who loves them in their life and who's still there for them and who's not. And so that song always seems to resonate with guys that have come from that background. I noticed that's the one that usually if I have a guy roll up at the show and he's got like tattoos on his face, he's into that song.
Well,
oh yeah, so, they could all feel for that song.
Without being political and all, it just saddens me that many people just don't give a damn anymore. They just don't care. I don't understand why. It's like the higher ups just don't care no more.
Nobody wants to give people another chance, and people need to realize that just because somebody went to jail and they did a crime, hey, they made a mistake. They deserve another shot. And I think somebody needs to come out and, put housing up for these people that are coming out of jail and set them up with some kind of jobs or some kind of, something to get them started so that they won't want to go back in. Because they get so, used to being in that they can't handle the outside. Yeah,
I agree. I agree completely. And I think, some of the best people I've ever met were in jail, believe it or not. Like, you just meet these people, they're so broken, like they've already learned from their experience. They've learned from their punishment, and they're so ready for something else, but there's nothing for them when they come out. Like, everybody gives up on them, people turn their backs on them, and, that's kind of human nature. It just sucks. Human nature sucks. We by design are just kind of inherently bad, and so when you find people that are good, it stands out, and I think that's why I like writing about hope so much, because people cling to that. People have this inherent need to believe in something, and
that's
so songs
true.
like that, I love writing. I love finding the little gems in the middle of all the filth,
Exactly.
Y'all said that together.
yeah, I noticed that.
That's what happens after 5 years of being together.
Right.
Who would your influences be, would you say?
Man, I've got a bunch. Bob Dylan is one. I know that's old school going back, but that guy I even wrote in the liner notes of the new record. I just wrote the liner notes yesterday. They're actually pressing the CDs tomorrow, and I said I have to thank Bob Dylan for giving me a starting line from which to chase a dream.
Nice.
And that's, that guy's just such a poet. And he's so timeless, and the way that he could sum up the human experience. But then more modern, I love Pearl Jam. I think Eddie Vedder's just such a poet. And I loved all the 90s, like Soundgarden and Smashing Pumpkins and Alice in Chains and all those bands.
And Dave Matthews?
I like it. Huh?
Dave Matthews?
Dave Matthews is a big one, yeah. And Counting Crows, that's two bands that really, really influenced me. And I love a lot of, I love Sublime. And I love, the bands with some a little funk to them. I love Bob Marley. I love a lot of hip hop and rap. I actually listen to a lot of hip hop and rap now, which is weird because I make this, sensitive acoustic, Americana music. But then I'm driving around, bumping Jay-Z. It's just, I don't know, but it's just musicians are weird like that. I get in little modes where I'm trying to listen to something, Like I think Daft Punk makes some really cool stuff. I think that but there's some pretty cool stuff going on out there, electronic music and things like that. I love reggae music.
Yeah. Well, when I was in 6th grade, I had a teacher that actually introduced us to Bob Dylan, and he is really talented, I have to say. But it's funny because I don't listen to rap either, but one day we were in the car, and one of our friends was in the car, and he had a rap CD that he had put in the car, put in the radio, that he had found on the floor, and it started playing. The radio was off. We turned it on, and I automatically, the CD started playing, and he said, "That's rap. I don't think you want to listen to that." I said, "Oh, why not?" And I turned it up. I think he was shocked.
Yeah. I mean, the beat is catchy. I don't like what a lot of hip hop today talks about. I think they're running short on topics. I saw a thing yesterday that talked about the formula for number one songs, and it was like this group from Duke that had pulled out the 10 keywords in each decade that were used the most in hit songs. And it was like in the 50s, it was like love. Random girl's name, like all the songs were named after girls back then and all this. Love was like a recurring theme all the way up until like 2000. And then it was like crazy words like the N word and like hose and stuff were the words, and they had totally been replaced. Like our whole culture, the things that make a hit song now, like grinding and stuff like that were like the keywords that made hit songs now.
And they like to say the B.
Nobody has anything to talk about anymore. Like all the songs are either about sex or dancing. That's it.
Or about calling some woman the B word or some nasty other name. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Dylan is that guy was writing like blazing social commentary. I mean, he was taking on politicians, and there's still people that do that. But a lot of them get heckled for it. Like Bono. That guy's amazing. U2, even though they're getting old now. That guy, he's still talking about something. You know what I mean? There's like Widespread Panic, they still do that. There's some bands out there that still take on the status quo. But for every one of those, there's like a Kanye that's not talking about anything.
There you go. Yeah, they just want to dance now.
Yeah, they just want to dance. Well, it's just a dumbing down of America. Have you seen that movie, Idiocracy?
No, I can't say have.
With Luke Wilson. It's like a comedy movie that's set like 1,000 years in the future, and it just shows how dumb Americans have become. Like they believe commercials, so they water their plants with Gatorade. And they can't figure out why all the plants are dead, but the commercial told them that the plants want electrolytes. So, it's just stuff like that. And so this guy from like the 90s gets a time machine and goes forward, and all of a sudden he becomes like president because he's the smartest man in the world. And I don't know. It's just, I get into stuff like that. I think that's funny.
Yeah, I think part of it is social media is killing everything. It really is. It's great, but it's killing everything at the same time.
Timewaster.com, yes.
Very true.
I'm guilty of it, too. I get sucked into the Facebook black hole.
Me too.
Oh, well. And what about Instagram? Literally, like, and Twitter, like, at any time, you can know within seconds, like, the last time somebody used the bathroom, or what they had at McDonald's, or how long the line was, or it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, I could see in another 20 years people texted each other to get a job.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's sad but true.
Very sad but true.
So what about like artists like Neil Young?
Oh man, he's amazing. He's another one. That guy. Timeless. Actually, I do. I don't do a lot of covers, but when I do covers, I tend to go back to Dylan. I do Neil Young, The Needle and the Damage Done. Sometimes I do like some old Paul Simon songs, or I'll dust off some James Taylor, and I always put my own spin on them. But if I do a cover, those are kind of the guys that I go to, the old songwriters. You know,
Nice.
my go-to covers.
Nice. So who are your movie influences? You spoke about one movie you went to see.
Yeah, well, that was just a comedy that I happened to catch the other day. Movies, I like Robert Rodriguez a lot, the director out of Texas that did From Dusk Till Dawn, and he did the what are those movies called? Anyway, he did not El Mariachi, Desperado, and the ones with Antonio Banderas. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That guy's pretty awesome. Quentin Tarantino is pretty awesome, I think. I like older directors. I love Martin Scorsese. I think that guy makes incredible movies. I actually like Woody Allen movies. A lot of people don't, but I think that guy's really witty, and he's got some cool stuff going on. And Sofia Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola's daughter, she makes some awesome movies. That one with Scarlett Johansson, Lost in Translation, was brilliant.
Oh, okay.
Nice. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let you sit back and relax for a few minutes and let the audience listen to AV's song.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. We'll be right back with Brad Austin after this.
Get so lost sometimes I'm shaking. I gave my heart away again, and I've been trapped in these distractions, wondering if it ever ends. Can I feel? Everyone I know thinks I'm happy. I've learned to smile and say I'm okay, but deep inside something's dying. I've never known any other way. Am I real? I can meet you in the morning. I wanna swim in your eyes again. 'Cause all this hope, well, it's just been haunting me, and it's made everything different. I built these walls to surround me. This poetry protects my soul, 'cause I knew if you knew all the things that you don't know about me, well, you wouldn't love me anymore. Am I clear? But one day everyone's gonna know me. Yeah, I've resigned myself to playing the man. If I do these things to the people that I love the most, well, I just pray they'll understand. Am I feeling at all? 'Cause I can meet you in the morning. I've gotta swim in your eyes again. 'Cause all this hope, man, it just keeps haunting me, and it's made everything different.
All right, we're back.
Yeah. Hey.
Hello, Mr. Austin.
So, AV song, is that what we're listening to?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the audience was listening to. I played most of it. I'm not going to play the entire thing out of respect, but
Because now we want them to want to go out and buy your album to listen to it. I mean, another wonderful song.
Yeah, we want them to come out to your show.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Awesome. So, this Saturday night is a big one. It's actually at Centerpoint Church. It's on Broadway. They have a big auditorium, and so the Big Ears Festival is going on downtown. So like everything was booked up for that. So we're having it in the church auditorium there. It holds about 500.
Nice.
And Nate Curran's got a brand new album. He's at 16 on the iTunes singer-songwriter charts right now. It came out last night at midnight. He's already at 16 with his new album, and he's phenomenal songwriter from San Francisco that has an album that's called You and I Are Ghosts, and so he's going to be playing, and then I'm going to be playing, and my new CD from Behind These Walls will be available there for Knoxville people or whoever's at the show only, and then everybody else has to wait till April 15th to get it on iTunes or whatever, so it's just kind of the only time anybody can snag it before then.
Yeah.
But I'll have limited, probably about 100 copies or so, and that's all I'll have at that show, and I'll have some new T-shirts and stickers and stuff, too, that go with the album, so...
Okay,
nice.
And how much is it for your album and your T-shirts and your stickers and stuff for people that want to go to the show?
Album's gonna be $10. The T-shirts are $15, and I usually give away the stickers, just because I think it's good advertising. Everybody loves stickers, and
Exactly.
I try to sell them, but I just always end up giving them away anyway. So I'd rather just see them on everybody's cars and guitar cases and toilet seats and wheelbarrows and whatnot, you know. So.
Exactly.
So how?
And there's no charge for the show. What we're going to do is we're going to do kind of like take a note from the church, and we're going to do like a love offering type thing where we're just going to have, hey, give us some money if you think we deserve it, kind of. You know, we're mainly playing to sell CDs and to get out there and debut the new album. I'm going to play my entire new album. I'm going to do it in an acoustic setting with just myself on guitar and a piano and a violin. So we're going to do a real intimate, cool version of the album, even though the album's like electric and big and loud. And then Nate's doing a pretty mellow acoustic show with he actually plays the bass drum with his foot and plays the harmonica and the guitar, and like he's like a one-man band. He's pretty awesome.
Wow.
So, I'd say that it should be pretty crowded, though. It should be a good night. And I think we're going to be on the news at the Live at 5 thing beforehand promoting it. So
Nice.
that's all Saturday.
Awesome. I'll have to watch that then.
Nice. We hope that it's jam-packed. I mean, what's better than, to go out in the weekend, grab some drinks and then go see, talented artists such as Brad Austin.
Exactly. And not only that, but I hope it's a packed house, and I hope it's a sellout, even though you're not charging for the, per se, for the concert, but, for all your merchandise and stuff. I hope it's a sellout and everybody buys every bit of it, because you are very talented.
Thank you very much.
Isn't it crazy, though, how, the music industry has changed, where it used to be you just hand out your CDs, and now everything's like, download this, download that.
Yeah. I don't know, though. It's funny to me because certain things restore faith in that for me, though, like Radiohead. I have mad respect for Radiohead, just the way they conduct themselves and the way they've stayed true to their art for all these years. And they released their last album online for free with a button that said, donate if you want to.
Nice.
And, they made as much as anybody else putting out a CD that week. I mean, people just gave because they thought it was worth it. And so that kind of gives me a little faith in humanity that people are still willing to pay for art. They just don't want to. I don't blame them. I don't want to pay a record label and an artist get $2 out of the $10 I spend on an album. I mean, that's garbage,
Exactly.
And so the record industry is just really flawed in that way. And I think it's really cool that music's gone so organic because, when I do an iTunes release now or do whatever, I control my music. I control what gets done with it. I control. They don't just sell it to a commercial or a movie or whatever without me having any say so,
Exactly.
Like, I always remember that scene in the Doors movie when Jim Morrison's watching TV and all of a sudden Light My Fire's on a car commercial, and he's like, what is this? Like, I would hate that. I would never want that to happen.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you tell us about how, being on the road so much and, touring, across, where would you say, the southern states? Or I know you're regional.
Yeah, I'm regional. I actually haven't toured in several years. This will be the first time since I was, locked up and all that. I'm really excited about it. I've done a few out-of-town shows recently, but this will be the first time that I've done some real concentrated playing like that. And I'm getting excited about it, but I mean, there's certain apprehension about that too. It's just a different life. Being on the road and doing that kind of thing is, it's like a gypsy lifestyle. But you meet so many cool people, and it's all about, connections. I mean, the whole point of going out on the road is to meet people and have them buy into your music. I mean, I always get more excited about an artist if I know them or I've met them or I've seen them or shaken their hand or they signed a CD for me. Right there, I'm their fan. You know what I mean? Like forever. I'm always like, man, I know that guy. He was cool. And so that's the whole reason you go out and do that, is so that you would get that human connection, one person at a time, instead of just, being some person that's on the radio.
Exactly.
I think that's what the whole point of it is,
Exactly. Because it's funny thing is you said that, because I just said to Ray when we were on break, I said, it's funny. I said, if I was to go to a concert and, I'd be the person that would be able to say, like, if you got famous someday, I'd be so happy for you, because I'd say, hey, I know that guy. He was on our show. He's a real nice guy. I'd be the one going up there to buy the T-shirt and saying, hey, Brad, will you please sign this for me? And it would be cool, because to me it would be the coolest thing in the world.
Well, I would love for y'all to pop in Saturday or at the Market Square Arts Fair, any of those, and I'd love to come out and play on the air sometime. We could have some fun, get in the studio and do some silly cover songs, and I don't know, we might bust out some rap. You never know.
Definitely, never know. Whatever you want to do. You're the guest.
We'll do like the bluegrass cover of a Kanye song and see what people think of that.
There you go.
There you go.
I mean, you're very talented. Every time I hear you, I think of Dave Matthews, though. I mean, I really
he's
do.
One of my favorites, so I'll take that all day, every day. Wait till you hear this record, though. You think of that now. Wait till you hear it with all this electric fiddle and the foot stomping, and you're going to really think it. I think tomorrow I'll have MP3, so y'all will be hearing it tomorrow, and then you can put whatever you want to into rotation. I'll send you a few cuts off the new record.
Nice.
So
Excellent.
I'm actually listening tonight. When you sent me the message about doing this, I was listening to the final master and like approving it. So I'm excited. It's just so much bigger than I thought it would be. So like the sound, I mean, it's just really full, and they can do a lot in the studio. So.
Oh, definitely. We're excited for you. I mean, like I said, we've heard, these songs, and you're very talented, and I'm very excited for your new album to come out and to hear it.
So how would you say that your music has evolved since when you first started writing?
I think that when I first started writing, I was trying to emulate the people that I looked up to, like I was trying to sound like Counting Crows. I was trying to sound like Dave Matthews or whatever. And it's somewhere along the way, I went through enough life and enough hurt that I had my own experience to draw from. And so I had really good influences, but I didn't have the pain or I couldn't get on the level of those guys because I hadn't been through what those guys had been through. But after you've been through a certain amount of brokenness and a certain amount of triumph and a certain amount of heartache and a certain amount of love and a certain amount of, then you actually have a story to tell. And so I think songwriters evolve as their story evolves. Like songwriters are observers of the human experience, and so the more of it they experience, the more they have to talk about, the better and the deeper and the richer their music becomes.
Exactly. And not only that, but as you grow and evolve through the years, you tend to make your own music your own way. You kind of find your own way. You start off.
You find your own sound, yeah.
Yep, exactly. you may start off sounding like Dave Matthews, but then you may eventually pick up your own sound where you may sound like just yourself,
And then people are like, man, you sound like Brad Austin. Wow.
That's the last time I checked.
I want some young songwriter to get told that somewhere. Man, you sound just like Brad Austin. Did you know that? What?
So what would you tell the generation of today that's starting out in music? Because you know the struggles that it, brings, and it's not always peaches and cream.
Yeah, well, first of all, don't try to act like the people in the videos, because they don't really live lives like that. Like, even the biggest, like, rap stars and Rihanna and all those people that are on, they're not just flying around popping bottles of Chris every day, all day, smoking big blunts and flashing diamonds. Like, they work hard. It's hard work. And, there's an image, to be sure, but it's an image. And the other thing is, learn how to play an instrument. Like, don't just be some studio auto-tune whack singer that, is just a gimmick. Like, actually be a musician. Learn how music works. Learn what chords go together. Learn how to use your voice as an instrument instead of counting on some studio guy to make you sound in tune and right. Like, I think a lot of the people that are being encouraged in music today are being encouraged because they look like musicians or they have a certain look. And it doesn't have anything to do with their level of talent. And, I mean, they can take anybody and turn them into a star. I'm not going to name drop any big stars, but, Kesha. But they have these stars that you can't really sing, but they look like musicians and they have a lifestyle, so they can put them in the studio and make them sound great,
Yeah, exactly. A lot of lip syncers.
I hope I don't get sued. Anyway.
Hey, last time I checked, you had freedom of speech, the right to say what you damn well pleased.
Who knows? Yeah, I know. But in this police state, who knows? Who knows what? Just today, here's an example. Tennessee decided to eradicate daylight savings time today. Did you know that? That passed. Like, we are the third state behind Hawaii and Arizona. From now on, we're just not going to do daylight savings time. When the rest of the country does, we're not. Did you know that? I mean, that's real. I'm not making this up.
No, I didn't.
Nah, no spring forward, fall back. It's a wrap. Just here. I mean, so like in South Carolina, it's going to be different time. It's so weird. But whatever. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of glad. I just wish that everybody would get on the same page. I'd rather have, the time stay the same all year, too. I really can't stand, especially that spring forward crap. Man, nobody got time to lose an hour of sleep in early spring. But
exactly, especially when you're staying up late at night, already. You need that little bit extra sleep. I
need that. Of course, I remember that back in the day being in bars on the night that you fall back, and it was like they're about to close. Oh, wait, they're open for another hour. So it was sometimes you won and sometimes you lost, I guess. But
exactly. But when you're young, you stay up all night and you still manage to go to work the next day or whatever you have to do.
And you're the worst employee ever, but yes, you're there. Yes, I remember. I remember those days.
What's funny is if I tried to tell my other boss that because I'm remoted through up north.
That's funny.
I'm sorry, I can't. I have to come to work at a different time. There's no daylight savings time.
Yeah. I'm still on the northern time.
Yeah.
I had the spring forward. I'm sorry you didn't.
Exactly.
It's funny.
It is.
So, do you have any last words before we let you go? Because I'm sure you're tired.
Support live music, please. Come out and support live music. Come to a show. Come up and say hi. I can tell you right now that as a musician, the most fulfilling thing in the world is when somebody comes up to you. I mean, is it nice to get money for your CD or to get for your album? Yeah, sure, of course it's nice to sell some stuff, but it's my art, man, and I'm not in it for money. I'm in it to share it with the world. So more important than anything, what you can give me is come up and tell me what a song meant to you or that you listened to it or that you liked it or, introduce yourself. Let me hear your story. Please, if you see me at a show, come up and introduce yourself.
That's awesome because we've had so many artists, come on and whatnot, and this is the first time that we've heard that
exactly
on the air.
And I think that I think people should go up and introduce themselves to an artist. Just because they're an artist doesn't mean that they won't take the time to say, "Hey, how you doing?" It makes them feel. It makes you feel good. I'm not a rock
star. I'm just a guy from that lives in Knoxville that loves to make art. And I don't know how you judge art in a competition or say any art's better than any other art. It's my heart. And I'm sharing my heart with the world, and I just want people to come up and tell me that they feel it,
Exactly. I agree with you.
All right. Well, it's been fun, Brad. We'll definitely have you on again sometime.
For sure.
You have yourself a wonderful evening, and good luck on your show this weekend. Maybe we'll stop by.
We hope so.
Thank you.
Yes, we hope you have a great night. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
All right. Take care. All right. That was Brad Austin. Before we let you all go, I want to play one more song from him, and then we're going to wrap up.
Something I know, the way you move into the moment, the way I guess I finally noticed that I've been running from myself for way too long. Something I have told you seem to have over me, the way those green eyes just owned me when I dive in and swim away. And it's a shame the way you leave me, because I let you go. The way it takes so long for me to know that I've been hiding from myself for way too long. It's a shame, these lines I've tried to fence you inside. Dishonesty, you know you've been denied. The way I'm learning to love myself through your eyes. Something I have all these levels that we seem to meet on. These principles I can never cheat on. No way, I'm sure you know you just had me from hello. Something I have all this hold you still have over me. With every word you say, you just own me. And I just dive in and swim away every chance I get. 'Cause it's a shame the way you leave me when I let you go. I think this time maybe I just won't let you go. And I'll dive in and swim into your eyes again. It's a shame, these lines I've tried to fence you inside. Dishonesty, you know you've been denied. The way I'm learning to love myself through your eyes. Break it down.
Well, that was Brad Austin, Undeniable. I hope you all enjoyed his interview and everything. If there's any kind of buzzing in the background, we do apologize. We're doing our best, but we're glad that we have it on Spreaker. This is broadcasted from Spreaker. This is not a rebroadcast as far as, coming from Blog Talk or anywhere else.
No, we do these shows live on Spreaker. We don't broadcast, like you said, from anywhere else and, put them up on here.
Well, yeah, we do. I mean, last night we had the retro.
No, but I mean, I'm talking about these shows like where we do the interviews and stuff. We do them live, our interviews.
Yeah, we try to do our best. And, during, the music and whatnot, Undeniable, I was telling Miss Chrissy D over here, the beautiful Miss Chrissy D, that Brad Austin is very talented and he was very amazing. And I love his personality. He's very outgoing.
Very outgoing, very friendly, just a really nice guy. Like I said, if we go to his concert at the church or whenever, I'm definitely gonna go up to him and I want to introduce myself to him and I definitely want to meet him face to face because he is very talented. He's a very nice guy, and he really had a lot to say and I enjoyed what he had to say. So, he had a great story also to go behind the scenes of, about himself.
Exactly. And I mean, he just had a kick-ass personality, and
he did.
That's what it's about. In this day and age where download is king, I'm sorry, it is.
It is. That's definitely true.
It's no longer the day. I mean, yeah, you can go out to, your show and pass out CDs. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, everything is download.
Exactly.
And iTunes and all these syndicate, sites and whatnot. And it's all about the personality. A lot of artists don't understand that. They don't get it. People want to know the real you. If you're I'm trying to keep this clean, an ace-hole, then let people know that you are, because then, your fan base, that will relate to you. And if you're kind-hearted, kind-hearted.
Exactly. But not only that, they'll respect you for being honest and open for who you are. Hey, I'm an ace-hole. Well, that's how I am. Okay, then they respect you for being that because you admit to it. Hey, I'm a really nice guy, I'm a good person as far as for if it was a guy. But, and, they'll respect you. Because like I said, you really tell the truth of who you are. You don't try to be somebody you're not.
Exactly. There's nothing worse out there than, seeing someone that's always nice to people and then going up for an autograph. And they're a total rickwad.
I'd say jerk.
Well,
I didn't want to say swear words, so I said jerk instead.
Yeah, we're trying to keep this clean.
Yeah.
We put that it's clean, and we're trying to keep it clean. We're practicing the clean.
Yes, we are.
Part of the show.
Not to,
we so much, and I mean that from the bottom of our heart, or I can speak for myself.
And I definitely can speak for myself that, from the bottom of my heart, we really enjoyed having him on. And, we'd love to have him on again sometime and, hopefully soon. Because I really enjoyed talking to him and, listening to what Brad had to say and, how he was telling us about his life and, where his songs came from and his influences. And it was just interesting. It was a nice conversation.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It sure was.
It was amazing and whatnot. Almost every artist we've had on, we've liked.
That's true.
There was that one bad apple, but I'm not going to mention names. There's no need.
No
for
need
it.
to. No.
But
I think it just was. I think that was just a bad night. Maybe the person was having a bad night, or maybe it just wasn't a good night altogether.
Yeah, maybe we'll re-interview him sometime and see if he's the same way.
I think that's good. I think that's a good idea.
Or she's the same way, or
he
whoever.
or she or whoever, Yeah, because, sometimes people have bad nights, or, sometimes it's just a crazy night, and, you get caught up in what's going on, and, what are you going to do? Things just happen.
Yeah, I mean, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Me too. That's what we're about, giving people the benefit of the doubt, giving people second chances, or, giving them a chance in general, I should say, not second chance, but a chance in general, and also giving them, a second chance.
Just like I'm sure that record label would give us a second chance as far as interviewing their stars again. We didn't mean to have terrible order. I mean, we're doing the best we can. I mean, when you
you know what,
when you don't have the money the big markets have, it is what it is.
Yeah, but you know what? I think they're people just like we are. Like I said, nobody's different than anybody else. They're just the same as we are. And you'd be surprised. A lot of them understand. They can say, "Hey, I remember when I was where you guys are. I remember those days. So you know what? Why not? Give you another chance." And I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
All right. Just like on every show, we want to give shouts out to Tim, the Thunder Walrus. If I didn't start sounding like a frog, I do apologize.
Well, I said it behind you, so.
And Dave Benzotti.
Definitely.
They're both kick-arse shows on Strip Club Choppers Radio, who we're very glad to be a part of. We don't just say that, we mean it.
Exactly.
But coming up, hopefully Tim don't kill me. I want to, let people know how we got it to work, how we got our call-in system to work.
Yeah, because for other people that are small, people that are just starting out like we are, and, they need to know how to work their equipment, or, they're having sound difficulties or whatever, he wants to help you be able to fix your problems, hopefully,
Yeah, I want to tell you what I did. I can't say that it will work for you.
Right.
And there may be a bit of a hum in the background, so you may not like it. But you know what? If you can't do it and your alternative is Blog Talk or some other streaming service like that, God forbid, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Blog Talk except for it works when it wants to.
Exactly.
It's the same thing as Skype, though. Skype works when it wants to, and when it doesn't, it's like your SOL, and that's it.
You know what? That's how it is. I mean, I was on a computer filling out some paperwork, or not paperwork. We had paperwork, whatever. And the computer was just being slow. And I mean, you know what? And the person that I was talking to, I was telling them, you know what? Don't worry about it. I said, you know why? Because sometimes computers just do what they got to do, and they go slow sometimes. Nothing you can do about it.
And going back to the Strip Club Choppers Radio, we just want to show once again and prove that not all radio sucks.
Exactly.
Or stinks.
And, especially, the wonderful people that we work with, Strip Club Choppers Radio. They're a wonderful, great bunch of people, and, you should listen to their shows. We were grateful to be on, their show and for them to give us a spot.
Well, we're grateful to be on their station.
I meant their station. I said their show. I think everybody knows what I meant.
I think we're going to grow as a whole. I don't think anybody will leave anybody behind. I just don't see it.
No, never.
I've talked to Dave on, Facebook a little bit, and he seems really cool. And Tim is an amazing guy. We met him.
Yeah, we met him in person, and he is a real amazing guy. He's really funny, and he's just a really nice guy.
And now that we got our, call-in system, our interview, if you can, stand a little bit of noise in the background, we're going to have many interviews to come. I'm not going to say we're going to do it every night because we like to do our show. And Sean Jeezy, or Greasy, or whatever you want to call him.
Sean Cheesy Greasy.
And Tweety, they've taken the night off. So
yes.
They may be back tomorrow. They may not.
Exactly.
That's on them. Whenever they want to come on, they're welcome. I want to give a shout-out real quick to Tempo. Thank you for coming down that time. And I also want to give a shout-out to Brian from Black Charade. We can't wait to interview your band.
Yep.
And, he's very talented and very cool. And, thank Miss Fawn.
Yep.
Our music blogger. She's
of course
amazing.
Yes.
I'm sure she'll come up with something for Brad Austin.
I'm sure she will. She's very talented.
And we're just very grateful for everything. If you see us around, the area, handing out flyers, or you just happen to notice, be like, oh, well, I heard you on the radio. Stop by, say hi. We're cool people.
Yeah, we really are. I mean, we like people to come up and say hi to us. We're not mean. We're not going to bite your head off. We're going to be like, hey, how you doing?
All right, like I said, stand by, and I'll do that little tutorial for you. And as far as this show, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
God bless and good night.
Brad Austin, you're amazing, just like many of the other artists that we had on that are better than those mainstream artists. Just my opinion. Good night.